Welcome back to Hospitality Reinvented. This is episode number 22, and I'm your host, Doug Radkey, the founder and principal consultant with KRG Hospitality, and an agency that helps new and seasoned bar, restaurant, and boutique hotel operators turn confusion into clarity, pressure into performance, and guesswork into growth. And today we are talking about something that I believe too many people end up glossing over, something that every aspiring operator, an investor, and dreamer needs to hear, what you need to know before opening a bar, restaurant, or hotel. Now, you may be thinking I'm talking about pre-opening checklists or the feasibility studies and the playbooks that we are always pushing here. Yes, those matter, and they matter a lot. But today, I want to go a little bit deeper, beyond the strategy, beyond the cool concept, beyond the trendy cocktail menu or boutique room design, because opening a hospitality business isn't just about money and experiences. It's about your life as well. It's about your financial security and your relationships and your mindset and your leadership and your ability to adapt when everything that can go wrong ends up going wrong. And if you don't go into this with the eyes wide open, this industry will 100% eat you alive. So let's break this down. What you need to know before opening. The first truth that you need to hear is this. If your personal financial house is a mess, your business will be too. I've seen people sink their life savings, max out their credit cards, borrow from family, and still collapse because they had no buffer. I've seen entrepreneurs access 100% of the funding that they desired from a bank or an investor, the correct amount that they needed, and still collapse due to mismanaged funds. Before you even think about signing a lease or ordering furniture, ask yourself these three real questions. Question one, have I been financially savvy and organized in my life, or over the past 6 to 12 months at least? It's important to be truly honest with yourself here. Now, question two is, do I have a 6 to 12 month personal safety net moving forward? Will my household have enough money to cover expenses for the next year? And the third question, do I have capital for the business set aside for the unexpected? Because the unexpected always comes, whether it's before opening or after opening. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Both mismanagement of funds and undercapitalization is a top reason that hospitality businesses fail within the first 12 months. It means, the business lacks clarity around its financial health. If your business, depends on instant profitability, it's not a plan. It's a fantasy. Now, funding aside, let's talk about the people around you as well. Hospitality is not a solo sport. And if you try to do it alone, you're going to break. Professionally, you need that support team, the consultants, the coaches, the lawyers, the accountants, and the vendors that you can trust. Sure, you need advisors who, aren't afraid to tell you the hard truths, not just what you want to hear. But here's what people forget. You also need a personal support team. That's maybe your family, your partner, your spouse, and your friends. The people who are going to see less of you, hear less, from you, and watch you pour your energy into a business that demands almost everything from you. If your family isn't on board, if your partner isn't aligned, if your circle doesn't understand the sacrifices, the cracks will show, and they're going to show super fast. So ask yourself, do I have the right people in my corner? Again, be truthful with yourself, because the journey is too brutal to walk alone, which leads me to my next point as well. Let's talk about time commitment and sacrifices. Everyone romanticizes it, about hospitality ownership, the full hotel, the packed bar, the lineup outside the restaurant, the guests smiling as they leave, right? But behind that romance is reality. This business will consume some of your time. Opening isn't, just a 9 to 5. It's long days, longer nights, and endless decision making. And even when you are not physically there, you are mentally there as well. Sacrifices will happen. There will be some family dinners missed, some weekends lost, some, vacations delayed. That's the price of entry for being an entrepreneur, especially in this industry. But here's the mistake that most operators make. They assume that sacrifice is permanent, that working, 70-hour weeks forever is just, part of the job. Well, guess what? It is not. The real flex, and I've said this before, and it's something that we're going to dive into, I think, on the next episode, is building, systems and teams so you can work that 35 to 40 hours a week, not 60 to 70 or 80. But in the pre-opening days and shortly thereafter, you need to be ready for a bit of a grind. And if you are not, you are simply not ready. So, speaking of, systems, again, let's get real here about that. Without systems, your business will 100% own you. With systems, you own the business. Systems are the playbooks, the SOPs and the shift routines and the tech stack that's supporting it all. They are what keep your brand consistent when you are not in the room. If your plan is to figure it out as we go, you're setting yourself up for chaos that will take you months, if not years, to get caught up on. This industry rewards consistency. Guests expect the same experience every single time. Staff expect clarity, and your investors, they expect discipline, and systems will deliver all of that. Without them, you'll be drowning in never-ending chaos. With them, you will build the time and the financial freedom that you need to live a fulfilling life. Now, let's also talk about leadership skills here. Hospitality isn't just about serving food and drinks or turning rooms. We say this all the time. These are the byproducts of an experience. Hospitality is about people. Now, I'm going to be blunt here again. Most operators underestimate what that means. Leadership isn't, being the hardest worker in the room. It's about being the clearest, the most composed, and the one who creates stability when everything feels unstable. Your staff will mirror your energy. If you're stressed or angry and burnt out, they will be too. And guess what? Your guests will also feel that. Leadership in hospitality is about empathy, and it's about standards. It's about creating an environment where people want to work, where they can grow, and where they are held accountable. If you don't want to lead, don't open, because your staff deserve more than just a boss. They deserve a leader. Now, let's talk, about the next area to know about before opening, and that is having a growth-based mindset. This business and this industry, again, it's going to humble you. You will make some mistakes. You will have some slow nights. You will get some negative reviews. The question is, do you see those as failures or as opportunities to learn? A growth-based mindset is a non-negotiable, just as much as having the right strategic playbooks in place. It's really the difference between giving up and adapting. It's the difference between plateauing and scaling. If you think you know it all, that this industry will prove you wrong, and it will prove you wrong fast. But if you approach every challenge as a lesson, every shift as a chance to improve, every quarter as a chance to refine, you'll stabilize your business, and you'll see your business grow with you. Now, let's talk about communication. Your success depends on your ability to communicate with staff, with guests, with investors, with, partners. Communication isn't just about talking, though. It's about listening. It's about clarity. It's about making sure that your team knows the vision, understands the standards, and feels valued. Bad communication, it creates confusion, and confusion then creates mistakes. And mistakes, they can cost you money. So ask yourself, am I ready to lead conversations that inspire and align and hold people accountable? Because if you can't communicate, you can't lead a business in this industry. Now, let's talk about technology next. Hospitality is no longer an analog business. I know you're likely not getting into this business because you're an expert in technology, but it's the era that we are in, and you need to know it and embrace it. This is something we've talked about on a previous episode as well, from POS systems to CRM systems, from scheduling platforms and inventory management tools to, guest data to loyalty programs. Technology is at the core of modern day operations. You don't have to be a tech, wizard here, but you do have to have the understanding of how to leverage these tools to increase your efficiency, reduce costs, and improve both staff and guest experiences. The operators who resist tech will get left behind. The ones who embrace it thoughtfully and strategically, they are going to be the ones that stay ahead. So ask yourself, am I willing to learn, to adapt, and to invest in the right tech stack? Because this isn't the future. This is the now, which leads, directly to the next point that I want to talk about, the ability to adapt. In the last few years, they've taught us anything. It's this. Adaptability is survival. Pandemics and labor shortages, supply chain, shocks, tariffs, and rising costs, shifting guest expectations. The operators who adapted are surviving and staying ahead right now. The ones who didn't or will not, well, the writing is on the wall. Adaptability isn't about reacting. It's about anticipating. It's about staying ahead of trends, listening to the market, and having the will to pivot without losing your core identity. If you are rigid, if you are stuck in the hamster wheel of this is going to be an area that is going to consume you. The best operators, they are the ones that are curious. They ask, what's next? How can we improve? How can we stay relevant? How can we maintain success during change in market demands? That is adaptability. And it's the difference between survival and the development of a legacy brand. So here's the bottom line for you. What do you need to know before opening? It's not just about the concept. It's not about the design. It's not about, the room or the menu that you're creating. It's about your financial security, your support systems, and your time and your sacrifices. It's about your commitment to building systems, your ability to lead, and your growth-based mindset. It's about your communication skills, your comfort with technology, and above all, your adaptability. Because at the end of the day, this isn't a hobby or even just a business. It is a lifestyle. And if you're not ready for the weight of all of that, you are not ready to open. Listen, this industry is hard. It's unforgiving, but it's also one of the most rewarding industries in the world. If you go into it with clarity and with systems and with support and with the right mindset, you'll not only open, but you'll be in the top percentile of this industry. And if you take shortcuts, if you ignore the deeper realities here, if you think passion alone will carry you, you're going to become a failing statistic. I don't say this to scare you. I say this because I believe hospitality deserves better. Guests deserve better. Teams deserve better. And you deserve better. So before you open, ask yourself the hard questions, build the foundations, and create the clarity that's needed to win. Because the real flex, it's not just opening the doors. The real flex is staying open, profitably, sustainably, and with purpose. Thank you for listening to Hospitality Reinvented. Until next time, stay bold, stay strategic, and let's keep reinventing hospitality together.